I'm here with Teri Angel today, and we have committed to doing most Wednesdays for the meditation a day. And the fascinating thing in working with Teri is that we go into meditation and we sort of watch to see what happens. And I have been shown this morning that we are to be meeting Minerva, who is a spirit guide that I have worked with. Teri has not met her. Some of my other friends have worked with Minerva before. And what I'm seeing is that this is kind of a meditation excavation, if you will, because we honestly don't know where this is going. When I have worked with Minerva, she has presented to me as a very old, wise woman. Very old, wise woman. Although when Teri connected in with her energy, she saw a young sprite. So who knows what you're going to be experiencing? And let's just go on in and see what happens. So if you would please just close your eyes, and we'll take a minute to just get centered, and we'll go into this meditation excavation together. So just close your eyes. And take a deep breath. Just get centered into your seat. Feel your chair beneath you. We're going to pay attention to our breath. So take a deep breath in, nice and slow. And release it. And another deep breath in. And let it go slowly. Now just breathe comfortably. This morning in my meditation, I had actually been woken from a dream where I could not take the next breath. And I didn't panic, but I was acutely aware that I could not take a breath. And I was told to relax and just allow that breath to come in, that I needed to be, rather than taking that breath, receiving that breath. And I was told that this was all in conjunction with our meditation this morning. So let's just sit here for just a minute, and we are just going to receive our next breaths rather than take them. So let's just receive for just a minute. Open yourself up to receive. When I come from that conscious place of receiving, Minerva came in. Teri, I don't know if you felt anything or noticed anything, but I saw Minerva standing in front of me. And again, she's presenting in the same way she had for me before. Teri, did you notice anything with that?
Oh my gosh. This is so cool because as I took that breath in to receive and I went into receive mode, Minerva came to the door and she knocked on the door. And when I opened it, well, first of all, let me just say the energy of her when I focused in on her was like this ant, the ant that just wants to let you play and let you be and doesn't try to parent you, but is just there for whatever is needed. So when I opened the door, there was Aunt Minerva, and she had an arm full of gifts. It was just, she breezed into the room like, "Hi, I'm here," and started putting these gifts down everywhere, and they were beautifully wrapped. And she just wanted me to enjoy. That's the receiving part, she says. It's just enjoy, just be, not have to perform, not have to have any limits placed at all, but just receive.
So if you noticed a female energy join you, pay attention. What does she look like? What does she feel like? Does she have a message? Can you hear her, either spoken words or telepathic understanding? Let's just sit with her for just a minute and just feel into that energy that she's providing. So, Minerva, to me, at this point, is again looking like a very old, wise woman. And she reminded me that in one of our meditations a day the other day, I chose the symbol of a wisteria tree. She's all about nature for me. And she showed me that symbol of the wisteria tree. And she took me in to look at the flowers on them. Now, if you're not familiar with the wisteria tree, they are kind of droopy and they have huge, beautiful lilac colored purple flowers just dripping off. That's the feeling that you get from the wisterias, that they're just dripping off. And she took me to look at one of those cascading blooms. And she showed me that there's so much life underneath that, this whole ecosystem of little bugs and little things that thrive on the tree. So while I'm going to sit in that energy for a minute and figure out why she's showing me that. And Teri, what did you experience in that time with her?
Minerva is teaching me about worthiness. So, all those gifts that she brought, I was focused on, oh, one of those is for me. And she opens up her arms and says, oh, they're all for you. You deserve every one of them. And I got very emotional with that, with knowing that I was worthy to have anything that I want, any of those gifts. And I could go to the biggest box or I could go to the smallest box. And it was all the same energy of receiving that gift. And she's teaching me that when we pour more love into ourself and more understanding that we are enough, that we are deserving and worthy, then we're able to give those gifts forward, to pay it forward, that the gift is inside. And when we can unwrap even the smallest of gifts and show that gratitude and that feeling of awe that somebody somewhere loves me and that somebody is me, just pouring the love in. So I'm just going to sit with the energy of being enough and just being in love with who I am, because that's her gift to me, is pouring more love in so I can open up to it.
That's beautiful, Teri. You sit there in that energy for a minute. Friends, if you noticed something about Minerva and her message for you, you might want to jot it down or try to remember it somehow. I love how they're all individual messages, but I believe that there's a common thread here. As I continued to look into this group of insects that were all on this wisteria tree, I heard the word ecosystem. And I heard that each of these organisms on this tree are equally important. And what I'm being reminded is that each of us is equally important. Each of us is important to the good of the whole being our larger community, the collective. None is more important than the other. All are equally valid, worthy, lovable. So I'm just sitting with that energy for just a moment. Again, whatever Minerva showed you, go in a little deeper, look at it a little more. Let's sit in that energy.
I'm hearing that common theme that's coming in is you matter. Every person matters. But sometimes we don't think of ourselves as being that person that matters. You know, other people have a bigger role. Other people are out there on that front line doing so much. And it's time to realize your worthiness, and that, yes, everything that you do, every breath you take, every word you speak matters. And that's what Minerva is showing me right now, is that all of us are worthy equally. There's none that are greater and none that are lesser. And that's a teaching that has come from all the masters. Every master that has ever appeared and taught and spoken and shown us by example is that we're all equal. So I would say feel into that equality right now. See yourself up on the mountaintop. If you have a mountaintop guru that you listen to, that speaks to you, be that. Just sit yourself right there on top of that mountain and know that you matter. And your words are just as important as anyone that you're listening to that's teaching you. Ruth, I can see the mountaintop so clearly because I was just on a mountaintop as I was driving yesterday. And as I looked around me and saw some of the mountains were snow-capped and some didn't have any, but they were both equally beautiful in their own way. And that's the other part of the equality. There's no one more beautiful than you. Feel into your own beauty. It may be unique, it may be a little different from those you see around you, that we're all equally beautiful, we're all equally important.
Teri, the next thing that she's showing me is that, yes, all of us humans are equally important. And she's taking it further, that everything in nature, regardless of its size, regardless of its stature, is equally important to us, equally important to the ecosystem, equally important to the balance of our world. So those things that we tend to discount, not pay attention to in nature, have equal importance. They all have energy. They all have purpose and intention. So let's just sit in that realization for a minute, allowing nature to be equally as important as humanity. In your mind's eye, allow yourself to see things from a different perspective. Allow yourself to look at your houseplant as a living organism with a spirit. When I do that, the energy of that plant just gets larger, takes up more space in my realm. Imagine yourself walking outside, walking on the grass, touching a tree, feeling the leaf on a flower. And imagining that everything you are touching, everything you are seeing is alive, has spirit, has energy. Just watch that. Feel the energy around you as you acknowledge the validity and the value that that energy brings to the table.
Ruth, one of those gifts that Minerva brought when she came into the room is the ability to see things and to see everything through the eyes of the Creator, to see everything as the same, the equality of it. And years ago, I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer say to put a comma after the word that when we say, I am that I am, which is a part of scripture where the Creator was describing who or what he or she is. And I've understood that for years, that if I can put myself into an energy that I'm looking at, I can become that. But Minerva is helping us to see it through the eyes of the Creator, that everything is energy, as you were saying, and seeing that energy all in the oneness of everything that is. So indeed, I am that. I am that wisteria tree. I am that insect that's crawling. I am that dog that I love so much that I just want to hold it and cuddle it and receive its unconditional love. I am that body of water that I admire and love to look at. Everything is energy. And this is a huge gift that Minerva is bringing to us today, to see through the eyes of the Creator that everything is equal. There's nothing more important, nothing less important. Let's just sit with that. Anything that you're having trouble with accepting in your life, whether that's a person or a situation, just go into the energy of that being you. We're all the same.
Teri, I believe that you have one more gift to open at least, but before you do that, I'm being shown the bark of a tree. And the bark of a tree is strong and it serves a purpose. It helps. So, my understanding, what I've seen, is that when a tree has the bark removed, the protection on the tree isn't there. And I think it's like the water or the liquid of the tree, which is so unscientific, can't move up throughout the tree, and it can kill the tree. If the bark has been removed, the tree is in danger and can die. And I'm seeing this bark as a symbol for us of our connection to Gaia, our connection to the spirit realm above, and that by envisioning for us bark, could be around us, could just be going down our backs, but somehow connecting us to the earth, the center of the earth, Gaia, all the Gaia is, all the way up to the spiritual divinity, provides us that grounding, provides us that knowledge that we are safe, we are protected, we are at one with, just as a straight column all the way down. We are one with the earth. We are one with the heavens. And that's our life source. Just take a minute, envision that bark, if you will, that connection from the heavens through you all the way down to the center of Gaia. We are one, one with the earth, one with the Creator. Teri, can you feel that?
One with each other. You just really see us with everybody interlocking arms and knowing that I am that person next to me. There's nothing outside of myself. It's all me. Everyone that we think we're seeing outside of us, that's just a fragment of who we are. Something coming up to show us our magnificence.
Teri, I think you've got one last gift to open.
I do, and I'm tearing into that paper. You know, I used to open gifts very carefully, preserving the paper and, and doing it so gently. But I tore open this big present. I wanted to see what was in that big box. And it's a gift of being present, a gift of knowing that this is truly all there is. There is no such thing as time. Many times when we go into fear, it's because we don't know if things are such an unknown, and we project what might be, or we look back with an energy of sadness or anxiety or regret. Staying very present in this now moment is such a gift. It's that beautiful gift we can give ourselves to just be, just like that tree. It doesn't worry what's happened to it in the past. It doesn't worry if there might not be another minute of its life. It just stays steady and firm, knowing its worthiness, knowing that it's grounded down into the earth, that there's this open, spacious energy above it, and that is the source of all that is. If we can just go into that energy right now, just be in this moment, nowhere else. Just bring your mind into focus. Power of now, of staying present. That was the biggest gift that I opened today, to remind me that I am grounded, that I am protected, that I have everything I need. When you sit with that energy and you sit right where you are right now, you feel the safety and the security of just being. And allow that white light to come in from up above you, from source. You may call it God, however you refer to the Creator. Just allow the energy to take over. When you're very present with that energy, you feel every bit of it inside. And it lights you up. It shows you your magnificence. It shows you how loved you are, how important you are. Going back to that earlier message, you matter. And this is what God brings to us. It's the energy of being seen, being acknowledged, being heard. You matter. Just pull that energy in. Stand very firm and very tall, like the tree, and feel your roots grounded down into Mother Earth. And just sit with that energy. Just be with it. Anything that is trying to grab at your attention will wait. This is important today, just to be.
So, Teri, as I was watching Minerva, she just turned around and walked away. So, I guess our time with her is done. I love her. She's so amazing. So, if you are ready to finish your meditation, feel yourself in your body. Say thank you to Minerva. Make mental notes of those things that you have experienced and witnessed here today. Teri, I love the presence that you received. I love how the things that I was seeing dovetailed so beautifully with the things that you were seeing. And so much gratitude to Minerva for sharing herself with us today.
Absolutely. And one last thing that she showed me was to get in that box, that big box of being present. Just put yourself in that box and gift it to somebody else. Give them a gift today of you being very present with them. Really listen, pay attention, acknowledge, share with somebody how loved they are, how beautiful they are, how magnificent. Your smile may be the only smile they see today. So give a gift, pay it forward, as Minerva says. Just give yourself that beauty and that beautiful gift today of sharing with others. And thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
So, our friends here at Enlightened World Network, thank you for being here. We're so glad you're here. Whether you catch us live or catch us on the replay, it really doesn't matter. We're just glad you're here. So, Teri, thank you, my dear, for being here. And we love you all. Take good care and God bless.